Family of the late former Reserve Bank Governor Tito Mboweni is preparing to receive his remains at their home this afternoon. A prayer session is expected to get underway before Mboweni is then transported to Sasekane village, where he's also expected to lie in state for the community to make their final goodbyes. Tomorrow, President Cyril Ramaphosa will deliver the eulogy at a special official funeral category 2 that's happening at Nkowankowa Stadium. Newzroom Afrika's Ziyanda Ngcobo is in Sasekane village for us, and Ziyanda, you are at the family home.
That's right, and this is where Tito Mboweni's remains will come first, though. We understand that his remains left Gauteng at around 10 o'clock today and will start off at his home in Kloof. There'll be a short prayer session, private session with the family. Before then, his remains are transported from Kloof to the Sasekane village where we are right now, and between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. tonight, we understand that the community and whoever would like to come and view his body will be able to do so here in Sasekane as he'll be lying in state. But let's bring in then the family representative, Tito Mboweni, to talk more about where we are with preparations. We understand, of course, that the state is preparing its own category 2 special official funeral, but from the family side, as we are now at this particular home, which we understand is from his maternal side, what preparations are you currently, making right now?
We're just making the final arrangements for his arrival and to prep for tomorrow for all the guests that will be coming in from this evening until tomorrow.
And in terms of the preps for his, remains arriving here today, in terms of family rituals or traditions, what can we expect?
We don't do rituals. We are a Christian family, so we're just going to do the basic stuff. When he arrives, there's going to be a prayer and there's going to be a viewing, and thereafter we continue with the night vigil, but not that hectic one. And then tomorrow it's the actual funeral day.
We understand from an announcement that was made at an ANC memorial that once his remains have been viewed by the community here in Sasekane, he will then be transferred to a Catholic church in Hartensburg?
Yes, it is. It's true.
And so this is where he will be
spending the night. Yes, that's where he's going to be spending the night until tomorrow morning.
And as the family, as you now prepare for your final send-off, just talk to us about, the mood of the family right now.
Everybody looks a bit depressed. I think we are now facing reality. It's now that it's starting to sink that he's really gone, and it's really not easy. It's really not easy. Emotions are high, but I believe we're going to get through. Yes.
And of course, you're getting through with the support of so many people, not just the country, the continent, but across the world. Just talk to us about, the outpouring of love that you've seen from across the globe. And in fact, one of your uncles was at a memorial yesterday reflecting on the fact that, he spent most of his life in the movement and maybe about 30% with the family.
Yeah, 30% with the family, but after he resigned from the ANC duties, we were spending so much time together. And I remember earlier this year, he said to my father that they need to spend more time together. So that's what he was doing recently. So we usually every month and so have lunch together. We'll come in and have a braai, spend time together, I think it was a realization that he spent so much time in debt with work and other commitments, and there was less time with family. So now he was trying to actually make up for that.
And just talk to us about where we are, here in the Sasekane village. Whose home is this? Because Kloof is mainly his house, but this is the big home. As we say in African traditionally,
yes, in African culture, but this yard is 2 stands, you know. This is supposed to be his part, and this is the brother's part. So this was the family home where my grandmother used to stay. So when she passed on, we moved from where we used to stay and we had to come and stay here because in the African culture, the house was not supposed to be left vacant. So we came back and then he built the house. So this is also it's a second home or third home, so to say. Yes, so it's also his home. Yes.
And just lastly, we know that the community will view him as he lies in state for an hour. How did you come to that decision? Because we understand that to a large extent you've wanted to keep certain aspects private.
I think women need to also understand that he was ours, talking about flesh and blood, but he also belonged to the country because of his work. So decisions like that can be made based on those kind of things. Yes.
That's Tito Mboweni speaking on behalf of the family here at the Sasekane village, Tito Mboweni's mother's home, essentially. And they are preparing for his arrival. As we've mentioned, between 6 and 7 o'clock tonight is when the community of Sasekane village will be able to bid their final goodbyes to the late former Reserve Bank governor. And thereafter, he will be transferred to the Catholic Church in Johannesburg, and from tomorrow then that category 2 funeral will be taking place.
Ziyanda and Ngcobo, thanks very much indeed for that update.